Welcome back, Duelists. Another video here at Casual Duelist, and what we've got for you today is Toons. But real quick, I can't tell. I just smashed the living tar out of my phone. You guys let me know if I accidentally cracked the lens, okay? Let me know if there's a crack somewhere in here. I know I gotta get the screen replaced, but let me know if there's any cracks in my hand that don't belong. All right. To it. Let's get to it. So I actually call this one Toon Dragoon because I didn't have... I had one card from Toon Chaos. I have 2 copies of the Toon Terror. But I couldn't find boosters for it. And unfortunately, I wasn't comfortable paying singles prices for the new Toon cards. Because at the time they were pretty expensive, and they're still a little pricey, a little bit out of my own range. I did get lucky and made some good pulls lately, as you guys have seen. So let me give you guys the deck profile the way it stands today. Now, real quick, it is actually a 42 card deck. So for those of you who counted up and you're like, oh, okay, that was 40. This one's going to be off a little bit, and it's a consistency issue because Toon Kingdom's effect of Banish 3. So the extra 2 is I'm just playing 3 copies of the Red Eyes Fusion. So without any further ado, let's get to it. And the deck list starts off with 3 Ash Blossoms, 1 Dark Magician, 1 Red Eyes Black Dragon, 2 Red Eyes Toon Dragons, 1 Ancient Gear Golem Toon, 1, 2, 3 Toon Cyber Dragons, 1, 2, 3 Toon Dark Magicians, and 1, 2, 3 Toon Mermaids to round out our monster count. Now, for our spells, we're going to be using the almost obligatory single copy of Called by the Grave. We're going to be using 3 copies of Comic Hand. And for anybody who played GOAT format, here's Snatch Steal. For anybody who didn't, this is really good. This is like low-key one of the best tech cards in Toons. So, of course, to make this deck just unreasonably expensive, 3 copies Pot of Extravagance, 3 copies Red Eyes Fusion, 1 copy Terraforming, because you got to remember Toon Kingdom is a field spell, 3 copies of the Toon Kingdom itself, by the way, 1, 2, 3 copies of Toon Table of Contents, one of the best tutor cards in the deck, actually the best in the deck. And then because, again, this is more of a Toon control, especially since we're doing Dragoon, we're going to be running 3 copies of Strike, 3 copies of Toon Briefcase, which is, again, another surprisingly amazing trap card that I just didn't see coming before I started putting this together, and 2 copies Toon Terror. So there's your main deck. That is 42. Now, you got to keep in mind with the extra deck, I do know that I'm playing the Extravagance copies, so it's kind of got to be good. It's also got to be kind of disposable, so... I'm playing only 1 Dragoon because I only own 1 Dragoon. Playing 3 Barricade Board Blockers, and if you know, you know. 1 BLS Soldier of Chaos, 1 IP Masquerena, 3 Nightmare Cerberus, 3 Nightmare Phoenixes, 1 Nightmare Unicorn. Again, it's all I have. And, of course, my 2 copies Predaplant for Anaconda. And again, you know, you could lower this card to 1, but if you start the game with Pot of Extravagance and you don't roll the dice once, I mean, are you even playing Yu-Gi-Oh? So that is the 42 card main deck, the 15 card extra deck, the quick screen crack check based on the taking a look at the video. And if that's all you guys were here for, just for the list, class is dismissed. It's only been about 4 minutes. Gives you plenty time to hit the sub, tell a friend, and go watch some more amusing videos, because, you know, that's what YouTube's about. Hey, kitty. Yeah. Okay, my cat thinks that she's going to do the rest of the video. So let's go into the why we play what we play. First off, Ash Blossom is our best hand trap, most generically good hand trap in the game right now. And, of course, the less your opponent is able to tutor and rebuild their hand, the better off your plays are probably going to hit. Dark Magician and Red Eyes literally have to be in here for Dragoon. Although, we are allowed to use a Dragon Effect monster on Red Eyes Dragoon. And so we could actually use the Red Eyes Toon Dragon. The benefit of using both normals, though, is getting the double destruction per turn off Dragoon, which is one of those things that allows you to turn the game around like in that moment. So as far as the Toons now, because this is again purely a Toon build for the most part, Red Eye's Toon Dragon, when he is played, again, I should say this, none of the Toons that I own, because I don't own the BLS, no Toon may attack the turn it is played. If you have Toon World and your opponent does not have any Toon monsters, they generally get to attack your opponent directly. And then sometimes they all have another effect. So the Red Eye's Toon Dragon's other effect is that once per turn, I can special summon a Toon monster from my hand with a different name without following its requirements. So for the characters that need tributes, which is any of them, it just depends on whether they're considered a normal or a special Toon summon. I could do it without that. Fantastic. And you should be able to develop the BLS without performing the quote-unquote Toon ritual summoning. So this will allow you to do this. And again, you get these pretty common. These were in the Legendary Duelist Season 1, which is where I got my copies. And again, he's going to allow an extension play. It's going to work well with Dark Magician. Go figure. The Dark Magician and Red Eyes would sort of have a working partnership about being great cards. Toon Ancient Gear Golem retains the Ancient Gear effect that when it declares an attack, our opponent is unable to activate spell or trap cards until the end of the damage step. Now, I was half tempted, but I don't have it anymore. I had a Secret Rare Blue Eyes Toon. It's a special summon, so I could do that. Whereas this is a normal summon. I really contemplated putting in a Secret Rare Blue Eyes Toon. Didn't have it. I like the Golem's effect better anyway. I went Golem. Real quick with the Cyber Dragon. It retains Cyber Dragon's special summoning effect. Your opponent has monsters. You do not. Special summon it over to your side of the field. Still can't attack the first turn, but it's good to have Happy Metal Worm on our side of the field. And again, it's going to allow us to rapidly play to Dragoon. Next up is the Toon Dark Magician. And he retains the Dark Magician's stats because Dark Magician didn't actually have a skill. Now, what my boy here is going to allow us to do is once per turn, we can discard one Toon card. So it could be monster, it could be spell, it could be trap, doesn't matter. Just has to have Toon in the name or say that it's treated as a Toon. So I think Manga Ryorin can be utilized here. Discard that Toon card, then activate one of the following effects. Now chances are you're going to activate effect number 1. Effect number 1 is special summon a Toon from the deck with a different name, ignoring its summoning conditions. So you play Dark Magician to summon the Red Eyes, to summon somebody else. I don't know, maybe the Cyber Dragon, maybe the Ancient Gear Golem Toon. I mean, get creative. The other effect is not as usable or useful, and that is to add one Toon spell or trap card from the deck to the hand. We've already got Toon Table of Contents, and he could search monsters too. So, again, he's just good. And then I got the OG Toon Mermaids here. Actually, this one's the most OG. This one's actually first edition starter deck Pegasus from back in the day. These are actually part of the breed of special summoning Toons. So if you started your turn and you had Toon Kingdom and 3 of these, you can special summon all 3 of these and then still do a normal summon. Kind of the reason it's in here. Hint, hint. Going back to the spells, we need that generic Hand Trap Negate. Comic Hand, as long as we have Toon World, allows us to equip this to an opponent's monster and take control of it, treat it as a Toon monster, and if our opponent controls no Toon monsters, it can attack the opponent directly. Now, if Toon World stops being on the field, this card is destroyed, which will return the monster back to the owner's side. You guys remember all the links that we had in that extra deck? Yeah, they're not getting that monster back. And we get a comically sized comic hand that kind of reminds me of Smash Brothers. Not saying it doesn't. But yeah. So that's one of the best cards. Again, Extravagance. There's a lot of add effects in this deck. Not a lot of draw effects. So Extravagance is very good. Obviously, it's better once you set up Dragoon. Because then you can lay into more control aspect and you really don't need the extra deck past that. But you know what? Whatever. You do you. The Red Eyes Fusion, again, this is going to allow us to utilize our characters from inside the deck to generate Dragoon. And additionally, with the Vert Anaconda, we're going to be able to pay 2,000 life points and activate the spell from the deck as a monster's effect. Also very important. 3, again, the activation cost of Toon Kingdom. It's going to cost me the top 3 cards of my deck. During playtest, I didn't lose the game. It was against a slightly weaker deck the first time. I had to play out through the Toon control portion. But there were a few times that I actually banished my only Red Eyes Fusion. For some reason, I didn't end up hitting the Dark Magician and the Red Eyes. And even if I hit the Red Eyes, I still had the Red Eyes Toon. So I favored the odds there. But so what brought it up to 42. You could test that down. Take a copy or two of this out. See how it works for you. Terraforming, I don't want to waste my Toon table to grab Toon Kingdom if I don't have to. So the 1 copy of Terraforming. The 3 Toon Kingdoms. For those of you who don't remember, or maybe you were priced out of this in the past, when this is activated, banish 3 top cards from your deck face down. This card's name becomes Toon World while in the field zone. Your opponent cannot target Toon monsters you control with card effects. If a Toon monster or monsters you control would be destroyed by battle or a card effect, you may banish 1 card from the top of your deck face down for each monster instead. So you could walk through Raikikai and you can't get targeted. So like if you're playing against your own, like your opponent has Dragoon as well. Like Dragoon can't target your monsters to blow them up, which is kind of good. There are obviously a plethora of cards that do target. And this is one of the things that makes Toon Kingdom so much more redeemable than just playing Toon World. Personally, I like the fact that it has an extra searcher. But that's just me. Again, Toon Table. This is adding 1 Toon card from deck to hand. Spell, trap, monster, doesn't matter. Strike to take care of the monster effects more than the special summons. Toon Briefcase. I know I just said that one weird. But let's talk about it. So when your opponent summons a monster, now notice they don't say special or normal or flip or pendulum or whatever. If a single or a multitude of monsters jumps out while you have a Toon, flip it, throw them all back in your opponent's deck. Oh, this would have been so much better if I would have done this during Pendulum, when Pendulum was at its peak. I think we had Toon Briefcase. DRL1. Maybe not. I'm not sure. I don't remember the set. But if in fact we had the Toon Briefcase then, that would be amazing. And if I'm playing against Pendulum Magician nowadays, that's still pretty amazing. So I can't wait to use this on a couple people. My teammates know who they are. Toon Terror. Now, I wish I had a third one. This is when a spell, a trap, or a monster effect is activated while I control both a Toon world and a Toon monster. Negate and destroy the card. Now, it's a hard once per turn. This activates quite like the Imperial Tombs of Necker Valley from the Gravekeepers, whereas they need their field spell Necro Valley and a Gravekeeper in order to activate theirs. If I had a third, and I don't, but if I did, I would contemplate swapping the ratios here and going to a double briefcase and a triple terror. But I don't, so I didn't, so I won't. Back to the extra deck. Of course, Dragoon is Dragoon. He's part of the Toon Dragoon. Gotta have him. He's good. Barricade board blocker is actually going to help us protect our field spell. Again, that's really the only reason he's in here. And he's a link 2, so he's easy to make. BLS Soldier of Chaos. Again, amazing effects. A little pricey, but if you have it, it's great. Again, with the extra deck, it's really, you need the Dragoon, the Vert Anacondas, and the rest just needs to be useful. Even if you can't guarantee that you're going to play it because you're running Extravagance. Again, I got the Masquerena in here. We got the Cerberuses for the special summon monsters, the Phoenixes for the back rows, the Unicorn for the Seal 1 card, and the Vert Anaconda. Now, the biggest play in my deck is going second and being able to develop into Vert Anaconda. Now, I'm going to try this. I haven't tried this in quite a few videos to try to show a test hand that'll do it. The punchline is we need Kingdom or a Searcher. And then we either need a Mermaid, a Cyber Dragon, both, or one of them plus a Comic Hand. And that immediately allows you to go into Dragoon. Again, you kind of want to go second. It makes more cards live in this deck. And again, you get that extra card to draw. So let's see if we do get anything here that's okay. So going second, there's our Cyber Dragon, there's our Terraforming. So we've already got 2 of the 3 pieces we need. There's a Briefcase, a Call by the Grave, and a Kingdom. So kind of a flop. Our draw card will be the Toon D-Mage, so it does flop this time. But again, I mean, you're still going to be able to develop your Toon Cyber after you terraform for another kingdom, play your kingdom. Goodness knows what you're going to end up banishing. And then you're going to be able to sit with Call by the Grave and Briefcase down and go into a control aspect. Let's try one more. And you guys, I mean, obviously, I wasn't doing any stop motion. I don't do any real editing. So, like, obviously, there's no way for me to just do... I don't know what I'm trying to say. Okay, so I don't know. Can't exactly cut it. Got Extravagance, got the hand, got the Kingdom. I just need one of the monsters now. Wrong one. That's fine too. So you start with Red Eyes Fusion. Now the question for you as a player is, do you feel lucky about activating that right off the rip? And the reason I ask you that is Extravagance has to be your first action in a main phase 1. And I always go for the draw 2 first. And whenever I deal with a deck that's playing Extravagance, I do try to get the extra deck shuffled, and I of course try to make sure that it's going to be fine. So let's pretend I'm doing the 6. So we're good on the first draw. Okay, so I would be able to get to play. And that would give us a strike and a Toon Kingdom. So you'd set the strike, you'd activate the Red Eyes Fusion, and you'd probably hold your Toon Kingdoms for now. So like all of this is going to be saved in the hand, and you're just going to develop into your, wherever he went. You would develop into Dragoon and start playing from here. And again, it's not that your opponent would see what you lost there, and I know that was just out of frame, but this is like one of the better again ways to get him. is obviously just to draw the Red Eyes Fusion. I really wanted to try to show like a quick summon and a snatch, a Predaplant Verdanaconda, a Pay 2000, get this, and I wanted to show something techier, but that's fine. I'm cool with it. 20 minutes is too long for me to keep rambling, so I would like to thank you guys for watching, and keep it up, guys. Keep it up. You guys are doing well. I'll see you guys later.